I stopped doing this a while back because, to be honest with y'all, God told me to stop sharing my visions. My visions are for the people who have found them or who will find them, and it's not my job to market or promote it's not even mine, but the truth. It's not. I speak it, and it will be delivered correctly to the right people, to the right families, to the right leaders who lead families. So that's why you haven't seen a video from me in a minute, speaking like this on a level that most people don't ever talk on. So this video, Black Natives, is, it's about a truth. It's about God, not in a religious sense, but kind of. It's about understanding the power of agreements, camaraderie, the power of it. And I just want to kind of like help people to understand how to read the Bible, how to interpret text, how to read anything, I guess, technically, but how to interpret text, how to read the Bible, how to be sharp and not miss any parts. All right, so now that I got all of that disclaimer out of the way, let's talk about when the Bible said, where two or more come together and agree, there I will be. Like, God's going to be where two people come together and agree. When they agree, he's basically saying I'm there too. A lot of people understand that, but I don't think they think beyond that, because God is there, but what does that mean? What is God? Who is God? What are the characteristics of God? That's what I'm getting at. They say God is love. God is protection. God is, the truth. And all of these things. So you would know if you agree with somebody, technically, if y'all truly agree at a heart space, if God is present, if God makes himself present, or the force of source makes itself present. That's when you would know if y'all actually agree. That's one way you can weed out if somebody's just like faking it or whatever, because like I said, God will be there. You have to know the characteristics of God. You have to have the discernment and just be studied up to recognize, oh yeah, God is here. We really do agree with each other because God is here. So that's one thing I want to point out in this video. If you want to know if somebody is really in agreement with you, really in agreement with you, if they really on the same type of time, y'all really have a bond, y'all equally yoked, God presence will be there. God will be there too, because that's in the text, right? Another thing is, God is Alpha and God is Omega, the beginning and the end, not the middle. Not the middle. I just wanted to say that, like, God is Alpha and God is Omega, the beginning and the end, not the path. God is not the journey. God is not the path. God is the actual sanctuary, the actual shelter, the actual the actual power. God is the prize. God is the actual thing, the Alpha and Omega. The path that you take to get to God is not the same. So my point is, there should be a feeling, the way you would feel when you arrive somewhere, or the way you feel coming from a place where you generated from. Alpha, the beginning, is symbolic to home. All right. Alpha is symbolic to home. Omega is symbolic to your destination, where you're going. In other words, your goals in life. In other words, a place where you want to be. So home is a place where you're comfortable, and that's Alpha. And the place where you're going is Omega. All right. And that's a place where you would enjoy being. That's like your fantasy place. So God is a place where you feel either comfortable being, or you feel ecstatic to have arrived. That's God. That's the feeling. That's the implied message when God says, I'm Alpha and Omega. I'm the wish fulfilled. I am the realization of who you are or who you've become. But God is not the journey. So when they say when two or more agree, come together and agree, and God will be there, it should feel like the truth. It should feel like home. It should feel like an arrival, a realization. That's what that agreement should feel like. That's what that bond should feel like. That's what that relationship should feel like. That's what that bond should feel like. If y'all really agreeing, it should feel like the truth. It should feel like home, or it should feel like a relief of arriving to this place that you've been working to get to. That's what Alpha and Omega is. So I just wanted to put that out there. But I stopped making these videos for a long time, just because, man, God told me, I did my job. And I told y'all a few times, I don't get on Instagram and really YouTube to try to be your number one prophet. I don't care about that. I don't get on there to try to get YouTube money. Not with my gift, not with my spiritual gift. I have an assignment, and I'm here to do that, and that's what satisfies me. But this was a message for me to get out to the people. And as a Black native, man, I really hope y'all appreciate that, man. But this message is just getting you to kind of understand how to read text, how to break it, not break it down, but how to make it food for you. Some things have to go through a process to be food, right? And text, words, knowledge, analogies, metaphors, poems, hymns, soliloquies, monologues, oral traditions. These things sometimes have to be processed, just the way your food has to be processed before you eat it. And what I wanted to teach you today is, if you get the message, I am God, and God is, that's like saying God equals. So God is love. God equals love. So love equals God. You see, it's math. So read like that. If God is all of these things, then anytime someone, if God is equal to these things, then those things make up God. So if you want to know if somebody is of God, or if you're in agreement and they say God would be there, the attributes of God should be there. And if God is Alpha and Omega, then that God is the beginning and the end. He is the birth and the arrival. God is the home and the destination that you work so beautifully to get to. And that's what it should feel like when you agree with somebody. But there's a process. There's a process to processing food, knowledge, and understanding. And a lot of things aren't, a lot of things are not encrypted. I'm going to be keeping it real with y'all. You know, I didn't take no super mega class. I am anointed, I would say. And I was always blessed with these different gifts, but mostly perspectives, especially after I overcame depression. But I didn't go to theology college. I didn't go to like a pastor's seminary or anything like that. I just hear God, and you got to hear the one true creator to understand that what's being said, you know. So spend time really processing your food, your text. Process what people are saying, process what has been written, process it. Reading is not just saying words on a paper. Reading is looking through. Reading is finding depth in every word, every syllable. What is being said to me? What makes sense? What is being said to me? What is being said to me? That's how you process your spiritual food. You have to read, and reading is not reciting words that's printed on a piece of paper. If reading was reciting, it would be one word, but they're two separate words for a reason. Reading and reciting are not the same exact things. So, yeah, man. If y'all going into any type of relationships right now, remember, where two or more agree, God will be. He'll be there. But you got to know how to recognize God. So that's your homework to do. Go find out what God is. And those attributes should be present in that business deal, in that business meeting, in that romantic relationship. If y'all really agreeing, the attributes of God should be there because y'all agree, and he said he's going to be there. So this might be for you know, protection on some people who are already in a relationship, but this also might be preparation for others who are, you know, coming in agreement with some people. So St. Piper, man, aka Black Native. We Black Natives because all colors of the chakras, when they mix together, equal black. White is an illusion. It's the ordering of the chakras. We're not trying to order our chakras. We don't want to put them in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're allowing them to become one. So that's one black, you know, indivisible energy. That's the God energy. All right, man. Look, man. I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. I guess it feels good to be back. But I was learning a lot after I gave those messages. Y'all could go see, you know, a lot of the messages I said in the past. Visions, dreams, they all came true. I mean, they was already true when God told me. You know, that's what I mean, Alpha and Omega. If I get a vision, I'm living in it. I see the Omega, I see the end. I don't know how it's going to come about, but I'm there with God. God, he not worried about how it's going to come about. But yeah, that's what a vision is. That's the Omega part. That's the yet to come, but already here at the same time. Yeah. So now that I'm here speaking to y'all, there should be more for you to hold on to and move forward with.